My name's Mary Walsh and I am the Program Director of the Bachelor of Politics and International Relations degree. Basically, this degree is situated in the Faculty of Business, Government and Law in the School of Politics, Economics and Society. I have actually worked at various universities in my life and I've been here for 20 years, and this is my pet project. This is a degree that I dream to have in the capital, and it's all about giving my students the best pastoral care and the best student experience. So my industry experience is around having people from a wide range of industry areas that give me advice twice a year on what makes my students the most employable. My career background is Australian politics and political theory, so I'm mainly travelling around the world and talking about theory and so forth, but I have a fantastic team, including people that have worked in national security, that have been our general in the Army, Commander-in-Chief, who teach national security and terrorist studies. Well, we regularly re-accredit our degrees and look at ways of developing our curriculum every 5 years, and that's all based on industry experience. And our last review was in 2017, so we regularly do that, and basically what we've tried to do is provide our students with the best cohort experience. You know, it can be pretty lonely coming to university when you first start out, so we've got a whole range of things that we've done, and they include making sure that all the students in first year study together, so they all study similar units, and then in second and third year they can break out into national security or international politics. They also have a student association called Piranhas, which I'm actually the founder of, and I'm very proud of them. They are fantastic. They provide our students with pastoral care, social skills, a social development. They can get together, study skills as well. So I work with them directly, particularly in first year, so that students are developing skills that they can take anywhere in the university. And it's all about empowering the students and giving them the best experience and making them believe in themselves. You know, I'm a very avid believer. Like when people say to me, why would someone study politics and international relations? My view on that is that you must study what you love, because the universe works in mysterious ways, and you'll always achieve the highest you can when you love what you do. So if you love it, you should do it. The skills that we start in first year are about critical thinking. You know, it's not easy to think. And often, if you think about in a situation where someone's in a tutorial, they might be thinking something, but there's another development of that is the actual speech. So you can think something and then you might be afraid to talk. And we are encouraged in our society not to have views on politics or religion in social settings. So I'm very aware of that for my young students, and we never coerce our students to talk. We try to develop a sense of giving them confidence about their views. We also teach them skills of writing. So in first year, I do a lot of pastoral care about teaching students how to actually identify arguments and how to write a policy report, for example. If you're working in a minister's office, you know, they want something short, sharp and sweet, and you have to deliver it in a day. So we're always thinking about skills that they need in the real world to make them highly employable. Well, I think there's a couple of things that make this course really unique. In my own market research that I do, and I regularly do market research so that I can see new developments. So, for example, a few years ago, there was only one Bachelor of Politics and IR in Australia, and that was our degree. And previous to that, there'd been 13. So there'd been a sort of, the market had changed, and they started offering politics and international relations as a major in other degrees. So our degree was standalone, and since then a couple of other universities have developed other degrees, but what makes our degree stand out, our politics and IR degree, is that we're one of 5 universities in Australia that teach national security at an undergraduate level. So most students, when they want to study that, they have to wait to do honours or masters. Here we teach it at undergraduate level, and even more exciting than being able to teach that is having our ex-Commander-in-Chief, Professor Peter Leahy, who actually takes those units. So he provides real-world experience. You know, he was a general in Afghanistan. He had 50,000 young men and women that he commanded. He knows what he's talking about, and he allows our students to develop in ways that, you know, many people couldn't just from a textbook. Well, you know, it's amazing how many students that I keep in touch with who I regularly want them to stay in touch with me so I know what they're doing. And it's you know, a good example of a wonderful student that's graduated is a young woman that I met who came here when she was 17, and she wanted to work in DFAT. Now, she worked with me. I was mentoring her, and I'm more than happy to mentor any of the students who would like that opportunity. And she did honours and got into the graduate program. Now, there were 2,000 applicants. They chose 20 people, and she was one of those 20. Now, she's been all around the world. She's learnt Portuguese. She's lived in Brazil, lived in Germany, and just yesterday she phoned me to just say to me, look, I've got an opportunity to go and live in Paris for 2 months, and what do you think of that? And I was ecstatic for that. Other students we have, a lot of them go straight into graduate programs, so they apply for a whole range of graduate programs in Canberra, and we actually assist them with understanding what the requirements are so that they can be highly competitive for those. I also have students that do double degrees with this combination, so for example, Bachelor of Politics in International Relations and Law. I know a young woman who started at 19, she's now in the Supreme Court. We have a whole area for internships and work integrated learning. So we look at public and private sector. So we don't just look at students going into the public sector, so going into DFAT or Prime Minister and Cabinet and so forth. We look at companies like Noetics, private companies. We look at civil and military organisations. And because of Peter Lay, we have enormous potential for our students to go into positions that are related to border security, intelligence, diplomacy. We have students who are interns with members of parliament. There's a whole range, and in fact what we do is we ask students what they'd like to do, and then we try to match them up. So some of our students want to work in the Australian Defence Force, others want to work in the Australian Federal Police. So we ask them, what would you like to do? And we give them choices, and then we try to pair them up with that. And we have enormous success. A lot of our students do their work integrated learning, their internship. They get credit towards their degree as well. So they're not just doing something that's just removed from the degree, they're able to incorporate that into the degree. And a lot of them get jobs offers before they graduate. And we're really proud of that. Well, we start off, as I said, with that cohort experience of students coming together with this degree, Politics and IR, and our co-degree in my school, which is the Bachelor of Social and Economic Policy. Now, all those students in first year learn basic politics. We don't teach it in high schools in this country. They learn skills about society. They learn about introduction to international relations, and we give them assessments. We try to remove exams. Not really sure how helpful exams are under pressure in 2 hours, your whole life flashes before you. We try to look at things that are related to their careers. So how does someone write a policy brief? How does someone write a policy report? How does someone provide information to their employer about a range of policy choices that their employer needs to be aware of for an important meeting? How do they develop critical skills? How do they understand that all these things, when you come to university, there's not just one textbook. There are a range of competing narratives about what constructs reality. And we all have to be mindful of that, and mindful that people aren't going to agree. And how do we persuade people to see our perspective? So we're teaching them political skills on diplomacy and understanding what people are arguing, being respectful of that, and being able to understand what other people argue and still not agreeing with them, and being respectful of that, and being able to actually provide a viewpoint in a workspace that gives you a persuasive position and makes your colleagues really want to work with you. One of the things about the University of Canberra is that we're very big on our students having cohort experiences. Now, other degrees in the university have also got their own student organisations, but PIRANAs actually stands for Politics, International Relations and National Security. So it's a wonderful acronym, even though it's a little bit cheeky, but we love that, and our students have wonderful opportunities. So for example, right now, every year we work with the Australian Institute of International Affairs, and we send a cohort of 10 of our PIRANAs to their national conference. Now, we sponsor that. The students have wonderful experiences. They get to meet politicians like Penny Wong and people in international studies and international relations. And we also facilitate seminars with some of the key people like in politics in the capital, and we make it all about the students. It's all about their experience and their employability. Without them, we are nothing. I genuinely believe that this is one of the best degrees in Australia. We're very excited that you would look to study at the University of Canberra. We'll give you the best pastoral care, and we are very genuinely interested in your career outcomes.